I'm full of regrets, believing that my husband cheated on me, when he didn't. Cheating is something that I have always had strong opinions about. I have been cheated on before and it sucked. Everyone knows that I don't forgive cheaters, so when my sister-in-law, my husband's sister, staged an elaborate scheme about my husband cheating, I ended the relationship. My relationship unfortunately wasn't the only one that was affected. My sister-in-law Lisa, 32, her best friend Emma, 32, and my husband Jamie, 29, were best friends growing up. Emma got married early when she was 20. Her husband was abusive. She has 2 children with him. She got divorced 10 years later and she was finally free from his abuse. She suffered a lot however and was, probably still is, in therapy, her and her children. I, 30, met Jamie 4 years ago and we got married 2 years later. Everything was just awesome. What I didn't know was that Emma wanted Jamie, and Lisa made it her mission when Emma finally got divorced, to bring her brother and best friend together. I didn't know any of this so I never knew there was a hidden agenda. A few months into my marriage I overheard Lisa talking about how Jamie was cheating on with a married colleague of his. In hindsight, I can tell it was staged because she was saying unnecessary details and was very loud. She meant for me to hear it. I confronted her then and there and she played very flustered and apologized and begged me not to ruin my marriage. She told me Jamie loved me and she never wants to lose me as a sister, but at the same time she provided me with pictures and texts, they were all photoshopped, of my husband and his colleague. She begged me not to mention where I found out and I was grateful for her support and promised her not to expose her as the source. I confronted my husband with everything and he adamantly refused to admit to anything. It hurt me more that he never admitted nor apologized, ever. He asked me where I got this from but I kept my promise and told him it was an anonymous tip. I also went so far that I contacted the colleague's husband. At the time I thought it was the right thing to do. The colleague is this very beautiful woman that my husband worked very closely with many hours a day. I was a bit jealous of that and I confided my fears with Lisa. She used it against me. I'm full of regrets, believing that my husband cheated on me, when he didn't. Part 2. I asked for divorce and the colleague's husband did too. After that Lisa, who I thought was my friend, who called me her sister, disappeared from my life, like I never existed. Even when I bumped into her she was short with me and indifferent. Months went by and I was still heartbroken, processing the separation. My husband stopped trying to make me see reason and agreed to divorce. He said he wanted to move on. I started having doubts. Why is Lisa doing this now? She was my friend and wanted the best for me, yet now she didn't even answer my texts. I follow both her and Emma on Insta and I started seeing how Emma and my husband gradually started hanging out. At least once a week Emma or Lisa shared stories about my husband with Emma and her children. What I did next is very questionable and yet I don't regret it at all. I was desperate and I needed the truth. I was still very good friends with Lisa's on-again off-again boyfriends, Mike, sister. I told her my doubts and everything. I told her that Lisa was my source, that my husband was cheating and that I'm starting to doubt everything and that I needed their help to unearth the truth. Mike was easier to persuade to help me than I expected. He had Lisa's passcodes, and he went through her messages with Emma, and there was everything. They have plotted everything. They used my idiocy and insecurity and made me throw the best thing that have ever happened to me. He sent me all the proof I needed, even the original photos they used to Photoshop my husband with his colleague. My world was turned upside down again and I went down a deeper depression. I stayed in bed, called in sick for 2 weeks. I have not only ruined my life but also another family. I don't know why I'm writing here. If I want advice or just vent, I don't blame anyone but myself for ruining my marriage. I should have trusted my husband and the love he's shown me. I should have been honest with him about everything and where I got the news that he was cheating from. I should have not gone to hurt the colleague and her family just because I thought she's beautiful. She has since quit her job and moved, but I still had her husband's contact information. I had to at least apologize. We met and I told him everything. He was so angry with me. He was crying and yelling at me and all I could think was that I deserved every insult he threw my way. I found the colleague on Instagram and sent her everything and a long apology. She didn't answer me. I don't know if I should tell my husband too. I know I don't deserve him at all, and I know that he doesn't want me anymore, but maybe he should just know what Emma is doing and what she's capable of doing. He deserves to know the truth. Maybe I could start with reassuring him that I'm not trying to win him back, I'm just trying to help him understand, and apologize. I need to apologize for everything. I don't know.